the key aims of the Institute of Aging is to look at global ageing, and that is as much about falling fertility as it is about increasing longevity. And what we're talking about is the average age of the world population just getting older. And the wonderful thing about being in the 21st century school is that something like global ageing affects migration, it is affected by changes in disease, it has impact on the way we use technology and the way technology can be used. It links into things like ethics and philosophy. So here we have a variety of multidisciplinary colleagues that we can work with and talk with and debate with. I think many people think of ageing as a problem. We think of it not even as a challenge, but more as an opportunity. If you look at it in the way that we're not so much talking about large numbers of old people, but increasing numbers of people who are living longer. And that's one of the really interesting things to do research on is, as we get older, we have increasing life expectancy. Is it increasing healthy life expectancy? Or are we ending up with large numbers and large percentages of very frail elderly people? And all the evidence at the moment is that probably as we increase life expectancy, so we are edging up healthy life expectancy. There's a slight difference between women and men, and obviously in different parts of the world it's different. But definitely between ages, say, 50 to 75, we seem to be pushing back the bounds of frailty. And that gives tremendous opportunities because it means that we can encourage people to be active adults between 20 and 70. And there's been a tendency for us to think of people entering early old age, even as young as 50, people think about retiring at 50, whereas we're saying it's an exciting opportunity for people between 50 and 70 in particular to stay in the labour market, to contribute to their families, to contribute to their communities. And the more generations you can have alive and working together at any one time, the more opportunity there is to combine the energy of young people and the experience of old people. So within the right policy frameworks, global ageing can actually be a real opportunity. I think from the policy point of view, the key question that people are concerned about at the moment is whether ageing is going to lead to the dismantling of health frameworks, the dismantling of economies, of families going to fall about. And if so, how can policies prevent that? And I suppose part of our job as a research institute is to provide evidence which actually shows that in fact population ageing isn't per se responsible for health frameworks falling apart, but what it does need is a shift, for example, from acute disease management into chronic condition management. And that's particularly in developing or transitional economies, where they still have to tackle disease and acute medicine, but in 20-25 years' time, we'll have all the chronic conditions that we have here in the West. And I think one of the real issues that we try to get out there is that ageing isn't about Europe. We've aged. Ageing is about Asia and about Latin America, and it is the developing transitional economies, because their fertility is now falling so fast, that they're going to go through the demographic transition. And whereas it took us 150 years to go from being young nations to being more mature nations, those parts of the world are going to do it in 20-25 years.